just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul right now. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got. Oh, 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 oh. I said, roll up, roll up, roll up. Yeah, come get your love. I don't care where we're dancing tonight. Just as long as you're there in the brink of the light. I said, roll up, roll up, roll up. Yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Can I get an amen when the night ends? There's no winner when you're walking alone. Sliding down the last street as the day creeps. What you doing with nobody at home? Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Toronto Huskies. You can't bring them down.
The weight room does work.
And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And they'll go on the ground. They juked him. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first quarter lead. The first play from scrimmage? Some of these people haven't even taken their seat.
That's what is commonly known as a fast start. That's what my horse racing friends would say. They caught a flyer out of the gate. And guess what? They're in the lead now.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Watch it now, Barney!
They come out here in the eye. They run the counter now on first down. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Third down, the Colts beefing up the secondary. 6 defensive backs in the game. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So they put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown! Their dangerous wide receiver hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And he has reached the summit. Move over Peyton Manning. There's a new record holder at the top, partner.
And somewhere Peyton Manning is not excited about moving over, but he respects the fact that someone came and got his record. And we're here to see it. How exciting is this? Not just for us, but for all fans of football.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up. That's the 20 to the 22-yard line. The defense now working their way back onto the field. And a touchdown given up the last time they were out there, so maybe need to refocus a little bit.
And make sure that they don't start finger pointing with each other, because oftentimes when a touchdown's given up, you say, okay, where did that happen? Who broke down? Who gave it up? Instead, just go back out there, be a unit again, and try and play a little bit better.
Yeah, see if they can play a little bit better on this drive.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So make it back-to-back sacks, and the second one cost him a couple of points.
And the easy thing is to put this all on the offensive line, but maybe they need to start changing their game planning and their calls. Quicker passes, running plays, especially when you're this deep in your own territory.
We get a glance at the Colts defense as they work their way back on the field. And they gave up a touchdown last drive. You kind of need to hit the reset button after every touchdown given up, Charles.
I love that. And the way that you phrased it is perfect because from series to series, you can reset how the game is going to go. If you gave up a touchdown before, it doesn't mean you have to do it again. And if you made a great play before, you have to reset again anyway because they're going to attack. So I love the way you phrased it and put it out there. That's what they have to do in this series.
It's not like when you're playing a video game. You can't hit the reset button here. Let's go.
No, you shouldn't anyway, that's for sure.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll drop to throw.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there. And there we saw completion.
And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. Second and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game. And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Rolling to his left. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
I think that should have been chalked up as a winning play for the defense, and they somehow beat it, didn't they? Right-handed quarterback flushed to his left, yet he finds his tight end on the left side of the field. That's a tough throw. What a great completion.
False start, offense. Still third down.
And back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal.
Gone! All right, now look at 56.
Now a handoff as they run left side. 6 yards puts them right on the doorstep, but now it'll be 4th and goal.
This is where it gets fun because this is a big decision coming up. Listen to the crowd. You can tell they've already made their decision. You know they want them to go for it. But the big decision does rest with the head coach. What will he decide to do?
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7. So it's an old-school extra point, but certainly a disappointment that they couldn't get 6.
Yeah, when you see 19-yard field goal in the box score, you kind of shake your head. But their head coach decided 3 was enough.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. They come up in an offset eye. Looking to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you
under pressure, and they got to him again. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Taken from just outside the 30. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that.
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
And as a defender, if you go with 2 interceptions in a game, that's pretty rare in the NFL. You might see one guy a weekend do that. But to have 2 in the first quarter, that's something you don't see all that often. I have a feeling they'll think twice about throwing in his direction too often.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
So let me make sure I have this right. He's already found the end zone once, and now he's ripped off a big chunk of yardage here on this one. His confidence is awfully high. So now I've got to put myself in the shoes of the defensive coordinator. Do I go ahead and sell out to try and stop him and force him to do something different? Or do I risk him having a big monster day against my defense?
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, that was not a highlight play for the offense. But how about the previous play? A big run? They're used to trading that, especially if you're a Hall of Fame runner. Big run, maybe not so much on the next one, but the big ones add up over time.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting a crump. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he loses the football a second time. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
A gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now a handoff here to his running back, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They come out here in the eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Mike McCoy rolls the dice, but it doesn't work out. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense, and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time. Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
When you think of really good teams that play a base 3-4 defense, you have to think the defensive line handles a lot of things. Eat up double teams with your nose guard. Your defensive ends are what we call base guys that can hold the point of attack, and they make it very difficult for people to run the football.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Their big tight end, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. A gain of 32 that time. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
This will be caught at the 2. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. They'll set up a throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And his guys have once again taken the lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The defense working their way back out now onto their home turf. They have to recover a little bit. Last time, they couldn't stop the run. They really couldn't stop the pass either.
And it wasn't just physically. It's mentally because the offense appears to be a step ahead of them. No matter what they call, it's working. They got to get something figured out. And usually, you need a big play to get things turned around.
They gave up the touchdown on that balance attack last drive. Now this drive.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. The Colts send out their punter on for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's taken to the 26. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Larry Ridley will have first half highlights and analysis.
LR, plenty to show in this one.
Going to be a big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first half touchdowns. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. So not only is that his third touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down because already we're seeing him run past, over. Through guys in order to make these catches, and being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort, so maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
That's just flat out a terrific play because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Over the middle, it's complete. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big conversion on 3rd for the Colts. And even 40 yards.
If the post pattern is often equated as a change-up route, how about when you throw it to your big guy down the center of the field? Covered or not, you have great confidence he's going to come down with the football. And when he does, as we just saw, long gains often result.
Second down now after the incompletion. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. So the offensive unit called the TO. And now we are ready to resume play. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Their big tight end. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Colts able to get this back within a touchdown.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. 10 yards still left on second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His second touchdown on the season. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. You know, normally he's probably pretty happy with his performance at this point. He's played pretty well. Bottom line, they're down on the scoreboard, so I'm guessing he's not that happy.
No, the fantasy owners who have him for this week, oh, they're happy with what's going on.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll look to throw now on first down. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. And quickly, they get to the line. They'll look to throw here. Going to left side here, and it's complete. Now the ball comes loose. It's going the other way. There he goes right side. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. The offenses have success. You can say they run wild a little bit. Time for the defenses to get into the act, and one does here.
Nothing like a little bit of revenge for the defense. They've had to deal with it all game long. Both offenses going up and down the field. How about it when they take the ball away and take it to the other end zone?
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached half. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Play clock winding down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
You give them 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
And the play clock's running down. A handoff as they run the counter play. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place.
Touchdown! Great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now a shotgun snap. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
But no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Fielded at about the 28. Look at the dance and the juke. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Now this offense ready to take over again. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. Big sack on second down. Now the offense needs to convert here on third.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. The Colts send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They run the counter now on first down. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain, and it's second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Welcome back to Toronto. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And now a first down following that long gain. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And to give this time to the tailback. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
He's played a great game that continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
9 yards on the play there, and it sets them up 1st and goal.
That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, He's to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is
But
one of our
she's
guys.
singing too.
Oh, she's singing. She's at least.
She's on like the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he's just saying something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker set free.
Back to throw here. Wide open receiver complete.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant, that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. The Colts send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown! A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And this offense is running away with this one. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Time for this defense now to get back on the field. They were able to force that 3 and out. That led to a touchdown. And defenses obviously love 3 and outs. They want more of that.
They created a very short and not too sweet stint for the offense by getting them off the field.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then. I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. Third down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it really well and picked up the first down.
Bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, man, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end, could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
Check three. All right, here we go. Blue, landing.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
5 receivers in the game, 4 of them to the left side. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So completion on second down, that brings up 3rd.
Here we go now. Check. Green, 39. Hot.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here is complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for him, too.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Red zone opportunity.
Hey. We got three. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So the run gets him the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
No, check.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Good. Watching that, Barney.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go. Leopard.
On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd.
No, check. Patriot.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Now let's see. Yeah, the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. Over.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get nothing out of that one.